Yo, people, how's it going? Northside LDN, and today we got a special guest, Tottenham fan, Tapin Tobs. Tapin Tobs, what are you telling me, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. And thank you for inviting me on. Let me even put this on my YouTube as well, so get some people to hop on as well
Nah,
and
love for that.
see some great debate, man. I'm good, man. Thank you for inviting me, bro.
Nah, it's all love, man. It's all love. Like, obviously, I've been a big fan of the Big Six, guys.
Yeah.
If you don't know about the Big Six, Tapin Tobes and the special guest I had last time, my first guest, Big Steve. He's part of the Big Six, and I'm telling you, like, they debate football like it was back in the day, back in the 90s. Like anyone can get it. It's week by week. Do you know what I mean? And it's none of this like political correctness. Everyone just comes out. If your team wins, your chest is out. If
Yeah.
not, then you got to eat humble pie. So Tobes, what are you telling me, bro? Matisse always getting on to you, fam.
It's because I get onto him. He's a he is. He's a little virgin. He's a little virgin, and obviously he's got a little mob. He's got a little Virgin Army mob behind him. So obviously, whenever I get on Matisse, they're always crying in the comments and crying to me on YouTube, innit? So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Nah, that's what it is, man. But it's a brotherly love. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah,
brotherly love.
definitely. No malice at all. No malice at all. Matisse is literally like my little bro.
To be honest, our teams can't chat to his team. Do you know what I mean? Growing up, yeah, like in the 90s, yeah, who were Chelsea? Like, not in a cocky way, but like they weren't up there, innit? Like it was Arsenal, Man United back in the day. You know
Yeah.
this, bro. Like,
They were like Chelsea were pretenders. Like they'd get the occasional like fifth or sixth spot finish, maybe even push for top, like getting crack into the top four as well. But they weren't like a household name, definitely. And then of course the corrupt oil money came in and Bob's your uncle, bro. They're easily the best side in London in our like my teenage years and adult years. Like there's no side in London who have performed better than Chelsea in the last 20 years. That's a fact.
100%, 100%. We can't really chat to him. And for me, like, no offense to Tottenham, because I know where my club's at. And if you chat to me, I'll tell you straight, bro. Like, my club is in the mud. My club is not built to win leagues anymore. It's not about that. It's all about selling merchandise. Like when we,
Yeah.
played against West Ham and we're getting merchandise out. It's not about football no more at Arsenal. But to be honest with you, like I'm jealous of everything Chelsea are doing because a lot of people give them the stigma. Oh, it's all about the money. It's all about this and that, bro. They're self-sustaining. I was looking at who's been spending the most money. I think they spent something like 400, and they've recouped over 600 mil. Like
Yeah.
it's literally become self-sustaining. They got so many like that's something that like Arsenal and Tottenham can do is make the most out of our youth system. Tottenham has always been known for a good youth system. I had some cousins that were actually playing for Tottenham. They're not Tottenham
Yeah.
fans, but they were part of their youth system. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And we can make a lot of money off of our youth system, but we don't. And we're looking at Chelsea, a team that wasn't up there. And since 2005, six, they've been up there, bro. And they've almost eclipsed Arsenal. I'm not even gonna lie. Like they got more European cups. They're winning leagues. They're winning cups and that. You know what I mean? And it's one of them ones where I'm not gonna lie. Like I've seen the downfall of my club. Luckily, I'm old enough to see Arsenal in our heyday, which is why I don't accept this top four nonsense. But
Mm.
with you guys, let's get on to Tottenham first. Yeah, you guys had Pochettino. I'm not gonna lie. Personally, I was worried. I thought you lot were building a Tottenham version of a Wenger. I'm not even gonna lie. I was a bit worried, yeah, because you lot look like you're actually building something sustainable. You get rid of Poch after him getting you to a Champions League final. As far as I know, you never even been at a Champions League final before. I felt like he wasn't given everything that Mourinho was given. You give it to Mourinho, you give it to Nuno. I know Nuno was really, really bad, but where do you see Tottenham now? Now you've got a better manager than Arsenal. Your team is not that great, but you have one or two superstars. I think one or two players that are world class.
Mm.
What's your opinion now of Tottenham?
Like you said, similar to Arsenal, mudded without the trophies to boot. Uh, we had our highs, in it, like, and I'm a nostalgia merchant, so I always look back fondly on our highs. But it's a travesty that the guys who were contributing to putting us into that position, i.e., our owners, have just let this club sort of deteriorate and just let all that progress deteriorate over the past like 4 or 5 years. We've basically just been trying to chase. We've basically just been trying to chase our losses last 3 years, definitely. Like I think even with the Champions League final, I just think we've been on a downward trajectory as a club. Like the signings have not been impactful. The strategy at the top hasn't been that great. The managerial appointments haven't been that good. We're not really producing. It's only until recently that we're starting to produce some decent-ish players through our academy. Other than that, we only had we had Harry Winks and Harry Kane, the two probably standout successes from the academy in the last 7 or 8 years. So yeah, I just and even Harry Winks, you wouldn't even call him a success. Like he's broken into the first team, and he's been a first team player for the past couple of years. But if you had to ask any Spurs fan which player you want to sell, Harry Winks would be on the list of most people because he's just not good enough for where we want to be. So it's not been good. It's not been good for our club at all over the past couple of years. But what I will say is Conte is a silver lining. Like he's a silver lining because I think for the first time in a long time, like they've finally been able to do something right off the pitch, which is bringing a top draw manager, not a manager of a top CV, but I'm talking like a current like top manager. And I think that's what they've done with Antonio Conte. So the next step is, can they do what they haven't really done over the last 10 years, which is spend when the situation permits, and not just spend, but spend on good players. It's well documented how much our owners have sort of been at our detriment over the years. But I'd be lying here if I said they haven't done some positives. Like they played a big part in building us up to where we were. But I can't help but feel that Pochettino massively changed the game for them. Like if Pochettino is not there, I don't think they get some of the credit that they do, and I don't think we then get the expectation that we had placed upon us because of how well he was doing with what he was given. But generally, yeah, I think the ownership is time to go. The manager, let's try and keep him here as long as possible. The squad, nowhere near good enough. Bottom line, lots and lots of work to be done with us. Lots of work.
Yeah, man. Because you know what? Yeah, like obviously growing up, seeing my club winning doubles and winning leagues and being up there, I started to see.
You want to gloat anymore?
Do you know why? Do you know why?
I'm seeing my club win the Premier League,
Because we're not. You know why I told? Because we're nowhere near that. We're nowhere near that anymore. We are we're a shell of a club. I saw Arsenal, yeah. These fans, yeah, that grew after the Emirates, yeah. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them now accept mediocrity. The same way with Man United. When I grew up, yeah, do you think any Man United would be happy with the way their club has been run now? They would say, nah, league or nothing. League or second. Do you know what I mean? And we better have the best manager, and we better go and take away. Do you remember when Man United used to be taken away every year? The best players of the Prem, one by one, Fergie would take them. Now, with this whole process and with this all new ownership, yeah, they're accepting finishing fourth. They're accepting spending more money than they ever spent under Fergie and not competing for the league, because they have not been competing for the league. I know Arsenal have not been competing for longer, but you know the detriment of my club when Arsene Wenger's coming out with crap like, top four is a cup. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. What, you're gonna give
Don't you think you have to Don't you think you have to start somewhere though? You can't just go from with all due respect, you lot have fallen hard. You lot just can't go from 8th to first in one season.
No, but Toby, let me say something else, yeah? Okay, cool, yeah? But don't tell the fans that the standard is top 4, because the standard of this club was built on winning leagues, yeah? The only reason that Arsenal fans talk worse to Tottenham fans is because we won more leagues. It's because we have been dominant in the Premier League. We're one of the biggest clubs in this country. So you can't change, Arsenal fans can't change the narrative. Oh, against Tottenham, we're big because of our past. But now, you don't want to compete for leagues. You're happy with top 4. I don't care about top 4. Who cares about top four? What do you get for top four? I care about competing for the league. This ain't a charity match where you get Figo out, where you get Zidane out, and it's a charity. This is a competition. Do you get what I'm saying? And Arsenal and Man United have fallen behind, and now the two big clubs competing for the league year in, year out are Liverpool, Man City. And you know why? Because we dropped our standards. That is why. Going for Willian, a washed-up player, is not good enough. Buying Mustafi, a player that's not good enough, isn't good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? And then flipping it when it doesn't work with Willian and all these dead wood, yeah, and Xhaka. We paid more for Xhaka than we paid for Conte. What is going on with my club? People say Arsenal fans have this excuse of us because of money. Well, have Leicester got money and they won the league? The same year that they won the league, Arsene Wenger come out and said, "Oh, we can't see any quality in the market." Really? And all you get is check. That's not good enough, bro. I've seen the standards of my club go into the dirt. No one has the right. No one has the right, yeah. But let me tell you, since Arsene Wenger, he stayed too long. We could have got Klopp. We could have got Pep. We could have got Ancelotti. We let Ancelotti go to Everton while we're here with this clown of a manager just because he's next to Pep. And I've said this before. Ferguson's been the best Premier League manager we've ever seen in the Premier League. How many of his assistants became world-class managers?
Not many. Not any, to be honest.
You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, the standards are in the mud. Arsenal fans went from, we sacked, yeah? I'm going to let you come through. We sacked Wenger because fourth wasn't good enough. Then we sacked Emery because sixth wasn't good enough. But now we're trusting the process with a manager that got eighth and eighth. So why did you disgrace Wenger then? Because I didn't think Wenger was good enough. But don't sack a legend of this club to then allow another manager to come eighth and eighth. The thing is, we've had options that are better. Ancelotti, Klopp, Guardiola. With you guys, I always say back to Arsenal fans, yeah? You guys say, "Oh, who could we get?" Well, Tottenham, the first time you guys, to my knowledge, the first time you went in for Conte, you didn't give him what he wanted, he didn't come. This time, I feel like they've promised him everything he wants and he signed the thing. Now, with all due respect, if he's going to Tottenham, a club that's not historically, a team that constantly wins, why would he not come to Arsenal? But you know what? I don't think my owners want a serial winner. I don't think, like Man United, they don't want someone that's gonna start asking questions of them, because all they care is about how much money are we raking in year after year. What do you feel like?
I think, yeah, I think you got a good point with the standards. I think it's more the fact that I don't think it's a standard. I only think it's a standard thing where you hear some of your fan opinions. I think at like the board level, at pitch level, I think it's just incompetence. Like I don't even think it's a standard thing. I just think it's pure incompetence. I think the powers that be at your club have let people who don't have your best interests at heart run things for too long. Maybe not having your best interest at heart is the wrong word. You've kept people in place who don't really have a clue how to sort of regain past glories. And at times it could be something so obvious, like, oh, if you need a holding midfielder, just sign a holding midfielder. If you need a striker, just sign a striker. If you know this player has got 1 year left and he's not that great, don't give him a 3-year contract. If you know this manager is not experienced, don't give him such a big job. Do you get what I'm saying? I think your club have made some really, really dumb decisions that have just set you back years and years and years. Case in point, look at the issue now. You got Aubameyang, who is at odds with the manager, and you got Lacazette, who is one of your captains or whatever. And this guy can barely score 10 Premier League goals in the season. Whose bright idea was it to sign Lacazette in the summer and then go and sign Aubameyang in January? Why wouldn't you just bring Aubameyang in the summer? So, like, again, it's just incompetence, and it's rife at your club. It's rife at pitch level. It's rife at recruitment level. It's rife at board level. When you needed to spend, you didn't spend, and now it's like you've made up for not spending over the last like 6-7 years by overspending on players who aren't good enough. So for me, if I had to sum up Arsenal, it's incompetence. It's incompetence. The trophies, yeah, your fans will say, "Oh no, but we've won the FA Cups. This is that and the other." Yeah, cool. you're right. You've won the FA Cups. It's something to pat. It's something to commend, and you can definitely pat yourselves on the back for still being able to win trophies despite getting worse. But the one thing that your fans, some of your fans, don't want to acknowledge is Arsenal are getting worse. Maybe not so much this season in comparison to last year, but big picture. If we
We
had
are
to,
getting worse this season, Toby. Last season and the season before that, we will always beat teams like Southampton, Norwich, all those. But we've taken 0 points from the big six, Tobes. It's not good enough, bro. And that's
I
what
mean, you
gets
took
me
points of
annoyed.
us, but to be fair, you always take points of us at home. So
You get what I'm saying? Like yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's the same old thing, and people think it's gonna be different. No, it's not. This year, Leicester ain't banging. Man United now switch manager. Do you get what I'm saying? West Ham are up there. There's a lot of you lot have fell off. That's the only reason. Like there's been 3 or 4 teams that have fell off, which is why Arsenal are in the place that we're in. It's not good enough. We let Brentford that just came. The first game, yeah, they slapped us, yeah, like any other team this season. If you press Arsenal, will crack, yeah? And people saying it's a free hit. I'm like, are you stupid? Like, free hit. There's no free hit. Do you know what?
I think your younger fans, your
Forget the
younger fans
first
are
3
definitely
games.
lowering your standard for sure, for sure.
And
And
that's
I
what
don't
pisses
understand
me
it.
off, bro.
I don't
Like,
understand
this
it.
is, bro. And the thing is, yeah, with Tottenham, I felt like you lot got to a place, yeah, where it's like, okay, you're big six, and it wasn't about titles, but that was the time to press you. Like, you had to press the owner, yeah, and say, listen, the standards are here, innit? Like,
You got to
we've
meet
got
us
a
there,
world-class
yeah.
manager in Poch. Now give him the backing, caramba. Like, it's a disgrace that they gave the backing to managers that don't really fit what Poch built.
Okay.
And you guys not doing that and not following that up, it drags your club back. I remember when we was barely getting top form, people were like, you know, Arsene Wenger, who else are we going to get? Bro, modern day football has changed. Chelsea have been the most successful team in the last 10, 12 years. How many managers have they had? You know, I seen this year, flipping Norwich, Aston Villa. Do you know what I mean? Leicester, if he's not careful, Brendan Rodgers will get fired. They fired flipping Ranieri after they won the league. They fired him because he wasn't doing he wasn't up to the standard the following season.
Yeah.
But with Arsenal, it's always like we have to paint everything as roses. No, it's a youth project. No, Arteta will come good. No, if he's not good enough, get him out. Even you guys, when I saw you guys get Conte, bro, I was fuming. I was so angry, bro. I was so angry. I'm like, yo, that's a world-class manager that's available. And we're sticking with this guy, Lampard 2.0, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 2.0. Am I a dickhead, bro?
And almost 250 million spent as well. Me personally, I used to like if I'm being totally objective, like I don't think Arteta is a Neanderthal manager. Like I don't think he doesn't have a clue on how to sort of set out a team. But what I do think is he's not good enough to manage Arsenal. Like I think that one is obvious. He ain't good enough to manage Arsenal, and I don't think he's good enough to coach you like the way that you lot want to play at Arsenal. We associate Arsenal with actually like stylistically a good footballing team. Like they play on the front foot, they score lots of goals at homes, they bully teams at home as well. And I feel like the very essence of Arsenal has been stripped away bit by bit with Arteta at the helm. Like some of the characteristics that you associate with Arsenal, you don't really see it under Arteta anymore. The amount of times Arsenal could be like, you lot could be piss poor under Wenger and you just go and slap a team 5-0 at home. Like, I don't really see that regularly under Arteta. And people say, oh no, it's harsh. Look at the team he's working with. Look at the team he's working with. He's assembled this team. He's literally assembled this team, and he spent the money. He's talked the talk. He said everyone keeps saying, "Let's see what Arteta does with his players. Let's see what Arteta does."
Yeah.
And he's got his players now. It's a completely different new look team, and yet we still see frailties. And then and now I think the age stick is what people are going to say that. Oh, now he's got his team. Oh no, wait a second, they're young, so now you got to wait another 2 years for the team to develop so that Arteta can do this, that, and the other. Like sometimes. Just pull the plug. You don't block your blessings. You get what I'm saying? And I think Arsenal have blocked their blessings for far too long. Like, since Arsene Wenger's left, yeah, you had Emery, who you sacked after finishing 5th and getting to Europa League final. And now Arteta, he gets a consistent stay of execution for performing worse, but because he won an FA Cup. I just think Arsenal just need to be objective. Arteta may be doing Arteta, there may be some positive signs here and there, but overall, his tenure at Arsenal has been disappointing. Even with the trophy, it's been really, really disappointing. Like setting new records for in the wrong way. And me personally, I know the title of the show is "Can Arsenal and Spurs get top four?" I don't see Arteta getting top four at all. No, it's not happening, and I don't see Spurs getting top four with this current squad.
Nah, facts, absolute facts. Toby, you remember when Wenger fell off, yeah, and he wasn't competing anymore for top honours, we'd get an FA Cups anyway. So why are we making a big song and dance because flipping Arteta got an FA Cup? Who cares? Wenger got flipping a few FA Cups before we flipping kicked him out, and he was kicked out, allegedly. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't really care about all of that. What I'm saying to you is this, yeah? I've seen Spurs be in a position that I've never seen Spurs be in before, yeah? And I felt like, from an outsider, obviously I'm not a Tottenham fan, nor do I care, but just from an outsider's perspective, I don't feel the pressure from your fans. I feel like your fans are kind of like our fans, where they're just happy, jolly to just be in and amongst like the mix. Like, oh, maybe we'll be up there, and then they make excuses like, oh, but it's Leicester. Oh, but who the hell are Leicester? Before they won the league, who the hell are they? Since, you know what I've seen, yeah? Since Arsene Wenger said this top four, yeah, is a flipping trophy, which it is not, yeah? We have allowed Leicester to be up there, Aston Villa to be trying to push to get up there, Chelsea to become the most dominant club in flipping London. Do you know what I'm saying? We saw Liverpool. Growing up, Liverpool were nowhere near winning the league when we were growing up. Nowhere near. In the 90s, well, for me, in the 90s, nowhere near. They weren't good enough. I know they won a couple of Champions Leagues along the way, but in terms of the league, they always flopped it. Now they're there, up there. We've seen Man City now. Man City, not saying they're coming from nowhere, but like they went up
Nah,
there.
they came from nowhere. Come on, they came from nowhere.
Like, they were there. They're a bit of a yo-yo club, but you know what I mean? This is who we've allowed. That's like 5-6 teams that we've allowed to surpass us, bro. West Ham. I always say this to Arsenal fans, yeah? You talk about the money thing. How come Leicester and West Ham can compete and they got no money? How come Graham Potter has gone to Brighton, has put a style of play? Arteta comes out and says, oh, I don't tell this team to sit back once we go 1-0 up. So either you're telling them that and you're lying to us, or they're not listening to you. And if they're not listening to you, it's because you don't have the respect. You don't have the CV, bro. Like, how can you be here 2 years and Gerrard comes to Aston Villa and he already has a style of play? Graham Potter already has a style of play. What is the excuse? Arsenal are the third biggest spenders in the Premier League. And this is, a lot of fans don't look this up. They talk about money. When's the last time Tottenham spent 70 mil on a player? Yet Pepe doesn't come off the bench. But we're playing in Nketiah the last couple matches, coming off the bench. Why? He doesn't want a contract. He's got 6 months left. Lacazette has got 6 months left. We spent 50-odd million on him. Why has it come down to the last 6 months now the power's with the player? Why? Why are these things only happening with Arsenal? But Arsenal fans, the positive Arteta in and trust the project, they never want to question things. Bro, if something's going on with your work, if they've paid you for the last 10, 5, 15 years, yeah? Are you not going to question them why your money's not in the bank? Are you going to say, oh, well, we've got to trust the process because they've paid me all this time? When is it negative to question your club? When is it negative to ask of your club as one of the traditional biggest clubs in this country and have an expectation? Why is it negative? Is Bayern Munich fans negative?
I don't think it is negative. I think some of your fan base are just, they want to give Arteta as many excuses as possible, and I don't understand it. Like, it's weird. I've seen Arsenal.
You feel Tottenham fans are the same?
Huh?
Do you feel the Tottenham fan base? Do you feel like it's the same as well?
No, I don't think so. I think you have, of course, you have certain fans who will back the manager, but generally, if we feel like it's not going to work out, then that's it. Like, no one's, we were unanimous in our decision in us getting rid of Jose, unanimous in getting rid of Nuno. Of course, there'll be certain sections of the fan base, but I just feel like with Arteta, there was just way more There's just way more excuses. Like there's always something. It's never within his remit. It's always something to do with circumstances that are allegedly out of his control. But anyway,
I mean,
yeah.
coming off, as you can see, yeah, it gets depressing when I start talking about Arsenal because I'm not going to say what the majority want me to say. I call it as I see it. And do you remember with Wenger when we signed Kieran Gibbs, Wilshere, and Ramsey, and all these other youth projects? Where did that get us, bro? 0 Champions League, 0 Premier Leagues. Why do people think this is going to be any different?
Yeah, some would argue that you signed some good players.
Come
So,
on, bro. Like
you know,
even the excuse before, like you just said. Do you
I
remember
do
when
think you. I do think you have signed some good players, but I don't look at that squad and say that's a top 4 squad.
No.
I don't look at your starting 11 and say, oh yeah, these players will walk into a starting 11, a top 4 starting 11. And before people attack me, no, I do not think Spurs have a top 4 squad or a top 4 starting 11.
What do you think about Tottenham? What do you think about Tottenham now with Conte? Do you think your manager will be back? Do you feel like do you see yourself kicking on? Do you think Tottenham are going to change, or with Levy it's always going to be the same thing?
I think we will change just because of the fact that he's an elite coach, so he's going to make us play better. Like he's the type of coach that we've been screaming for since Pochettino's got sacked. A coach who will maximize what he's got available. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't top him up and give him the players that he needs, but it means that he will get. I keep repeating this. He will try and squeeze something out of crap players. Like he will do that. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you can get a manager who can do that and you give him the tools that he needs to succeed, then of course we're going to get better. So I expect Spurs to improve in the way we play, in the way we defend, number of goals scored, number of goals conceded. I expect all of these metrics to improve under Antonio Conte. But there's a cap on our improvement if we don't improve the team. If the team doesn't improve, don't expect miracles from Antonio Conte. People are trying to put us in the top 4 race now. I get it. The top 4 race is open. Spurs, if you look at it the last 2 years, we've never really been far away from top 4. Last year in Christmas, we were apparently challenging for the title and we were still in the top 4. The year before that, we built up a head of steam with Jose. And I remember we were like 1 point, I think we were either level on points or 1 point behind Chelsea. And we were heading into a game with Chelsea. And if we had won that, we would have gone 3 points clear of them.
But Toby, since don't you think your team has got progressively worse?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think the team is good enough. Like this team, the majority of the players in that team have been the same batch of players in the last 2 seasons, and they've come up short. So I'm not really sure why people are expecting like a different scenario with Antonio Conte. Like Conte will definitely make us better, but as I said, there's a cap. Like Conte is not just going to make Sanchez become a good defender, is he? Conte is not going to make Eric Dyer just not be error prone. Conte is not going to make Lucas Moura not score goals. Do you get what I'm saying? Like these guys, they have their deficiencies, and for those deficiencies, that's why Spurs suffer. So for me, it's obvious. Back Antonio Conte, and the world is our oyster, really and truly. Like I'm not going to talk all this talk about title, none of that rubbish, but like back him, and you'll see improvements. You'll see incremental improvements. You'll see this team actually become a fearful side again.
Yeah. What would make you happy? Like what would make you happy in January? What do you want to see?
I want to see a centre back and a central midfielder and a striker. We need like 3-4 players. But if you had to ask me the most important, I think it's embarrassing that we are a club challenging on like 3 or 4 competitions and we only have 1 senior striker. That's embarrassing. So we need that, but we also need a centre back. And our midfields, we never control games. We never ever control games. Our midfield is so weak, it's so inconsistent, and it's so imbalanced. So, yeah, we need 3 positions, but we'll be lucky to get 1.
Yeah. Nah, I hear that. Do you feel like Levy's learnt now? Because Pochettino wasn't backed. Mourinho wasn't completely backed. He was backed, but it wasn't completely backed. You know what kind of caliber of players he wants, and it looked like certain position he got kind of cheaper versions of what he wants. Nuno was absolutely shocking. Do you feel Levy's going to change, or do you feel like how do you feel about him as as a
I'm,
director?
I'm listen. I've like it's time to go with Daniel Levy. Like those who know me knows that I sat on the fence for a couple of years. Like I used to admire the whole Levy tough negotiating stuff 10 years ago when we were still like like a top four pretender and we had just cracked into the Champions League and it was all
Yeah,
about maneuvering X, Y, and Z. But 10 years on, like we know what wins and it's spending money and spending money well, not just
yeah,
spending money well. And I just think he don't really want to adapt to that way of thinking. And people say, "Oh no, but Spurs have spent a lot of money in recent years, but it's almost making up for lost time, and it's more reactive than proactive." And I think with Enoch as well, like for me, especially after um, all that happened in the last couple of seasons, sacking Pochettino, not signing a midfielder when we were going for the Champions League, not bringing a striker in the 2019-2020 season, and then literally losing Harry Kane for 6 months, like just so many incompetent decisions, like hiring Nuno in the first place, giving Mourinho a 3-year contract. There's it's just one bad decision too many for me. Like, so for me, I would be happy to see them leave. Like, thank you for all you've done. Your time at Spurs, in my opinion, I think will be harsh if someone called it a failure. But it's not ended well. The last 4 or 5 years have been nothing but a catastrophe as far as board matters are concerned. So yeah, I just think it's time for a change. Like we need a change.
yeah. Because it's just like, I mean, how do you see the Harry Kane situation? Because like when you keep a player and he doesn't want to be there anymore, and you just see the performances going down. How do you feel? Do you feel like his performances have risen since Conte's been there? Because I mean, he wasn't really performing under Nuno.
I think the Harry Kane one is, yeah, you're right. It's shit when a player wants to leave, the club forces him, and then like he doesn't really play to the standard. It's poor, and it's unfortunately it's the one thing that we didn't expect. We thought no matter what happens here, um, Kane will still give his all for Spurs, and he will still play to the level. But I guess he's proven like he's human like every other footballer. Um, but I think with Harry Kane, the performances have been shocking this season, unacceptable. A player of his standard, you cannot drop. I know you didn't get your move, but you cannot drop to that level. Like you just can't. Um, but I do think his performances generally have improved in recent weeks. I think if you're watching Spurs play, you're seeing a much more like all-round performance from Harry Kane. Whereas at the start of the season, he was missing chances and giving us shit performances. The main worry now for Harry Kane is actually just sticking the ball in the back of the net because the performances have improved. And for a team like us who don't really create a lot, he's actually had his fair share of chances this season and he's literally missing the lot unless we're playing bums on a Thursday night. So big picture, I'm not really worried about Harry Kane. I think whatever happens, happens. Like I was happy to sell him in the summer for the right price. It's just Man City didn't give us the right price. And if they were to come in for him next summer again and actually give us a fair fee, go. I'm not really that one. I've accepted that one already. But I just need him to start playing well for Spurs and start banging in the goals. I don't think his season is completely done. I think he's got what? How many games have Spurs got left? So we've played what, like 14, 15 Premier League matches. So we have what, 23 games left, let's say. 23 games left. You can definitely score a fair amount of goals there and just salvage something out of this season.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I hear that. I mean, at the end of the day, he's still under contract, so it's whatever in it. Get on with it. But I know how that feels. You know what I mean? But as fans, we can't be biased. Sol Campbell came to Arsenal because we were winning those times. If Tottenham were winning in that position, he would have never left. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when we took we've seen so many players from Arsenal go to other clubs. How many players of ours went to Man City to win leagues, went to Man United to win leagues? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, it gets to a point where you're like, if the club ain't matching my ambition, then I'm off. Like, my career is short. Like, I want to win. Do you get what I'm saying? And to be fair with Harry,
but then with that one, why did you sign such a long-term deal? For me, I actually blame the club.
No, that's his fault. That's his fault.
Yeah. For me, that issue is twofold. I think he was poorly advised. No one put a gun into his head to sign such a big contract. But I also believe that the club let him down because we made him sign under false pretenses. We signed under the guise that we would improve this team, would do X, Y, and Z. And I think we just let this team deteriorate. So first and foremost, I blame the board. But then I think Harry's people need to take a look in the mirror. Like, what are you doing your client? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. When I saw this gentleman agreement, I'm like, yo, this is business. What are you talking about gentleman agreement? Like if you felt like the club ain't matching your ambition, then sign a 2-year. Sign a 3-year, if anything, but you're signing such a long contract, like, and now you want to play like, oh, I'm the nice guy. Do you know what? At the end of the day, like, it is what it is. Like, for me, that's his fault. I completely agree with you. Don't sign the thing if you're unsure about the club and the direction. You
lot lovers signed that thing. What happened to your Mr. Signed that thing?
Which one?
You know who, man? Come on. Remember when he signed his new contract? Arsenal fans. I just signed the thing. Shut up.
Yeah. Do you know what with me, yeah? With me, I'm not even going to lie to you, yeah? It's like, it went from Wenger, when you're 28, 29, you couldn't get a 2-year contract, to Ozil. You're in your 30s, get a major contract, 300 buff. You know what I mean? Aubameyang, 300 buff. And we're the ones that put ourselves in this position. You know what I'm saying? We only gave Ozil that money because we let Sanchez's deal run down, and then it was squeaky bum time. We only done that with Aubameyang because once again, this club put themselves in that position. That's why I call out this club. That's why I don't rate the owner, the director, Edu, Vinay, none of them. They're all clowns. Because you're only giving Ozil Sanchez's money because now all the power's in his hands and he wants to win something, seeing that we don't win nothing. The same thing with Aubameyang. And now we're doing the same thing with Lacazette. If Lacazette signs, once again...
What the fuck? Nah. Surely you're not going to give him a new contract. Just let him go.
When is Arsenal proactive than reactive, bro?
Nah. If he worms his way to a new contract, oh my God, you lot are...
I can see it happening. I can see Kobe.
What the hell?
Bro, my club
is the hell? He's like 30 years old, Why are you keeping him?
So was Ozil. So is Aubameyang. Aubameyang's 33, bro.
Yeah, but Aubameyang, at least he was actually clapping goals. So maybe not 300 bags, but like, I don't think anyone can be mad at Arsenal giving Aubameyang a new contract. I think the amount is what the issue is. But if you told me off the back of that season when you won the FA Cup and he slapped in 30-something goals that Aubameyang did deserve a new contract, then I'd say, nah, you're lying. Like, I think Aubameyang earned the right to have a new contract. He actually earned that.
Yes, but not that much. If we had 2 years left on his contract, we had the bargaining power to say, yo, you're going to get 250, shut your mouth and keep playing. But because
I think the amount is excessive. But I think that was purely just to dissuade him from like speaking to other clubs, because apparently he was speaking to other clubs. But I still think the amount was ridiculous. But the Lacazette one, like, there is literally no justification to give this guy a new contract, none whatsoever. If you give him a new contract, that's just laziness. That's to me, that's saying you're crap, but we can't be asked to get someone else to take your spot, so you stay. That's
bro. You know what? Yeah, this is how dead my club is. Yeah, if you want to be lazy, do what Man United did back in the day. Go to Leicester, get their best players. Go to Aston Villa, get their best players. Do you know what I'm saying? Go to West Ham, take their best players. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're a bigger club. We can offer more money. You know what I mean? So go and spend the money. But no,
it's not that straightforward, though, is it? Because like some of these clubs, they have a much bigger say now in how much their players go for. So you're seeing Jack Grealish go for 100 million. You're seeing Aaron Wan-Bissaka go for 50 million. You're like, these clubs, they have bargaining power on their side.
I get that. But why are we going and getting on any then? Why are we going and getting dead players like Xhaka instead of going Conte? Conte was there in the league. We could
I
have
hear
got
that.
him. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that one
what's
was
going
mad.
on with the scouting?
Yeah.
Bro, my club is in the mud. Yo, Toby, bro, you don't know how vexed I am with my club, bro. I haven't been to a match in years. I went one time, yeah. I don't know when. I think you go to matches, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I can't go when I know that my club is in the mud and they keep spinning this PR BS, bro. Now we got
I
new
hear
mud.
it, but for me, yeah, I hear it. But for me, I'm too like my friend always says to me, like, you know what's gonna help change? You stop going to games. But me personally, I actually love watching football too much, and I love the team too much. Like watching football is a thing of mine, and it's so important for me because when I was growing up, I could only go when it was like cheap games or when I was going with mates who had season tickets. My parents didn't have any care for
Yeah,
football.
yeah.
So they weren't going to be paying, they weren't going to be paying
Yeah,
40, 50 pound a pop just for me to go watch Spurs, especially when we were poor back then.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like when we started getting good, etc., etc. Luckily for me, it came at a point where I could afford to see Spurs myself. So for me, that's a blessing to me. So I'm not just gonna cancel my season ticket. No, I actually love football and I love watching Spurs too much. Even when they're shit now, like I'll still go, I'll still support because that's just who I am.
Okay, now fair enough. For me, it's like I don't ever call anybody out because I think every fan has the right to support the way they want to support. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think any fan has the right to call anybody else out. Everybody has the right to their opinion. Do you get what I'm saying? We're all equal. We're all fans. But for me, I'm just not pouring my money into something I don't believe in. Do you get what I'm
That's
saying?
fair. That's fair.
Like they tore down Highbury, yeah, like a place where we were dominant, yeah, like we our best moments, all our history, and then they spun the narrative. Oh, we're going to Emirates to compete with Bayern Munich, bro. It's been 18 years, bro. 18 years. The only time we were close was Leicester, and then they didn't put money in their pocket and get us over the line and buy some key signings and just buy check. It's not good enough for me. Do you get what I'm saying? And if I don't support something, I can't put my heart in it. And I just like, yo, I'm just gonna watch it on TV, innit? Do you get what
That's
I'm
fair.
saying?
That's
Because I
fair.
just feel like, do you remember with Man United? Yeah, you know one thing. This is one thing. Like I saw with Man United, they only started buying Sancho and started actually like getting squeaky bum time when they stormed the pitch. Now I'm not saying everybody stormed the stadium, but it's like the powers with the fans, and if the fans don't turn up and don't buy into the sponsorships. I remember Man United was like, oh, we're not buying none of the sponsorships, Chevrolet, none of that. Yeah. And the club reacted. I've always made the example of Sporting Lisbon. I'm obviously part Portuguese. I support Benfica, yeah. Sporting were like Liverpool. They didn't win the league for like almost 30 years, yeah. They stormed the training ground. Not that I'm condoning that. Next year they won the league. Marseille also showed as a fan base, as a collective.
Yeah, but don't you think that some of these actions, like, it shouldn't have to get to the point where like your fans are literally storming the pitch to get their voices heard? But I get you what you mean. Like at times, like you need to make these people know that like the way they're running your club is just it's just not on. Do you get what I'm saying? Well,
It's just to be
as long
competitive.
as there's no violence, as long as there's no violence.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, yeah, like our fan base, your fan base, we buy the shirts, we buy the merch, we go week in, week out as a fan base, yeah, we support. What change do we get? When do our voice get heard? Do you get what I'm saying? They don't listen. They'll buy a little player, they'll buy some player like Party and do Party Hard or whatever on the internet, and then everything's
Cringe.
forgotten, bro. Like, I'm sick of it, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, my club has no right, Tottenham has no right, Man City, Liverpool, no one has no right to win the league, but everyone could run their club properly. This club said they're going to be self-sustaining. If you want to be self-sustaining, look at Liverpool. They're self-sustaining and they're challenging for the league. Their owner doesn't spend loads of money. Yeah. Why don't you look at their model? If you don't want to, if you think, oh, it's unachievable doing it the way Liverpool, look at Leicester. Leicester always up and around there doing it self-sustaining. West Ham this season, they didn't spend loads of money. They only got Antonio. They're like you. They got one striker. They didn't spend loads of money. They're competing.
Even him, you wouldn't even call him a striker. Like he's not really like a pure striker. You know?
But you get how the excuses don't work, bro. Because we're the third highest spenders. So we should technically, if it's all about money, we should be in third place. But we don't. We buy badly. Mustafi, Xhaka, El Nene. Do you get what I'm saying? Lacazette. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, If our fans are getting charged £18.50 for a double cheeseburger and chips, we've got the highest ticket price. Yeah, where's this money translating on the pitch, bro?
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's listen. I think you lot as Arsenal fans, you have every right to be frustrated as fans, and ultimately, it's not going to change until the people that pull the strings they adjust their way of thinking, or they actually start making the right decisions.
Bro, you know what? Yeah, when I saw you lot rising, you lot were finishing above us. When you got to the Champions League final, I was in the pub. I was with Liverpool fans. I was pretending to be a Liverpool fan because God forbid that you won the Champions League. I swear down, this channel would not exist. I'd have to move country, bro. I need to move continent. I couldn't hack it, bro. And this is what I'm saying. We are falling back. Teams that were never up there competing, because Arsenal and Tottenham are not being proactive, not buying the right players, we're falling behind, bro. How can you not be vexed? Leicester has no right to be up there. West Ham have no right to be up there in terms of size of Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah.
And look at us, we're falling behind. Man United are going through the same thing. They were trusting the process of Ollie. All of us said he weren't good enough. Why am I trusting it with Arteta? I said to people, they pinned Lampard, Ole, and Arteta, saying, the three ex-players, they're up there, whatever. The only one that's still in the job is Arteta. And you know why? Because my club has no ambition. Because Lampard spent money, he was sacked. Ole spent money, he didn't get to the standards they want, he was sacked. Arteta's almost spent 300 mil since he's been here. Yet there's no expectation. Is that correct, bro?
I think I think with him, he gets away with murder. I don't really get it. So the less I say on him, every time I speak on him, people tell me, "Oh yeah, you're speaking about Arteta more than Spurs." No, I'm not. I'm just speaking because I'm being asked to analyze what's going on at Arsenal, and I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, why does this guy have so much clout and hype behind him? It's bizarre to me.
He's not even a legend. He's an Everton legend more than his Arsenal legend.
I don't even think he's an Everton legend. That's not to say that Arteta was a good player, like nothing more, nothing less. But like he's not an Everton legend, in my opinion, and he's not an Arsenal legend as well.
Where do you see Spurs? Where do you see Spurs finishing this season? And where would you like to see Spurs finish this season?
I think if we don't improve the team, I think top 6 finish. So 5th or 6th spot. If we improve the team, I think we can try and go for top 4. I'm not sure if we'll get it. I doubt we'll get it because I still think the momentum is with Man United. I think their squad is simply too good for them to not jammy their way to a top 4 spot. But I think I would love this season a top 4 finish, but I can't see it happening. I think any chance of even like properly challenging, and I don't just mean being like 3 or 2 points off and stuff like that until March and then falling off. I mean challenging, going right up until the end and giving yourself a chance to finish in the top 4 with 2-3 games to go. For that to happen, I think we need to improve the team.
Yeah, facts. I mean, for me, I felt like you guys had the golden ticket with Poch, and I feel like it's just fallen down since then. Like, I think Conte, your board actually reacted well with Conte. I think that was such a good appointment.
He's a better manager than Pochettino, and I love Poch. I'm literally Poch stan, but Conte is a better manager than Pochettino. So for me, I'm very excited to see what can be done with Antonio Conte if we actually back this guy.
And Toby, if he's not backed here, you got a riot because this manager's proven, bro. He's proven. If they don't back him and he leaves, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'll be rioting outside White Hart Lane. No way.
Yeah.
Like
it's time to go for them, but like this will be the straw that like the straw. Listen, the camel's back is already broken, but like if they fuck this one up, then there's nowhere to hide because there's nowhere to hide now. There's nowhere to hide if they fuck this one up.
Nah, Toby. Yeah, you got to be writing, bro. I want to see. And when you're on the Big Six show, I love that show, bro. Absolutely, you guys are fantastic on it.
Thank
Don't
you.
let Matisse be talking to you like that, bro. Like real talk.
Wait. What do you mean? Don't let Matisse listen. Like first, people say that I believe Matisse, and then you're saying that like Matisse. Listen,
No, because I see that because I know, yeah, when he's being passive aggressive, like he'll say little things, and then if you're not really paying attention, you'll be like, oh no, and then you'll react, and it looks like you're the aggressor. I know people like that, innit? So he likes to instigate it, and then it looks like you're the bad guy, innit? I love Matisse,
okay.
but
Nah,
Matisse,
trust me, he's gonna get cooked tonight for sure. He's getting cooked tonight. He talked about Chelsea so much, so I'm a cook the living daylights out of him tonight. Not for Everton's kids. You must be mad. You must be mad.
Nah, man, come on, man. But yeah, Tobes, man, like real talk, bro. Like just keep doing what you're doing. Like
You too, man.
people like
You too, man.
YouTubers like you is what inspires me. Like real talk. Like
Thank you, bro.
know,
I've only been doing this shit for like a year, so
is it just a year?
Yeah, I started in January this year. Yeah. So I've been around. I've done on other stuff, but not like strictly on YouTube. So this is the first year where like I've actually created my channel and stuff. So yeah, like thank you, man. You keep doing your thing as well, man. Hopefully, well, I say hopefully. I was just about to say something mad. Hopefully, after nah.
Come on, man.
Stay mudded. That's where we like you. Stay mudded.
But you know what? Yeah, like I always like connect more with opposing fans that are more towards my age, where they understand where the frustration comes for. Do you feel like that? You know, like you've got a standard for Tottenham, and do you feel like the younger generation, not to bash all of them, but do you feel like you connect more? They understand your frustration when you see your club not being proactive and not doing all that they can. Do you feel
I think with Spurs, I think the younger I think the difference is like we don't really have the glory years to look back on, and I think with us, I think the frustrations that I would have had, the younger frustrations can see as well because it's literally happening right in front of them as well. So it's not like they're learning something. If anything, the younger generation was they saw like a really good Spurs side probably like 3-4 years ago. So they saw that. Like for me, like I grew up when we had fucking Jack Santini and all these men there as well. But like I also, as a heading into secondary school, I saw like the likes of Martin Yo. I saw the likes of Harry Redknapp. I won't talk about Wande Ramos because he was crap. I don't care if one trophy was crap. But we've seen some good times. So like I think fans my age will resonate with fans older than us as well. And I think will resonate with fans younger than us as well. Because I think as a collective, the same issues that Spurs have had over the years are still there. They're still there.
Yeah. Nah, definitely. I mean, what's in your favor? It looks like Son doesn't kick up a fuss because all due respect, like Alexis Sanchez, like Van Persie, like players that we've had that were kind of they should have been more ambitious than Arsenal because Arsenal wasn't ambitious enough. Son, weirdly enough, he seems very happy and content at Tottenham. Like,
I love him. He's frustrating at times, but I love him. Listen, he's dumb in my opinion because why would you want to tie yourself to a sinking ship? But I actually love him. Like I love his loyalty. Like he's gonna hit 100 Premier League goals for us by the time he leaves our club. He's gonna go down as one of our best ever players to play in the Premier League. He already is one of our best ever players to play in the Premier League as well. So I love him.
Do you think that will be part that will tarnish his legacy? Because we look at like, you know, Alan Shearer. I mean, Kane is getting up there with Alan Shearer. He won the league at least. You know what I'm saying? And with Kane, for all his talent, he hasn't got anything. He hasn't got any trophies. Son as well. For all their talent, they would fit into title, you know, contending teams. Unfortunately, you guys are no longer in that position. Do you think that's gonna taint their legacy in the Premier League?
I don't think it will take their legacy, but I think a lot of people will put players who have won stuff, ahead of them. Like even when the player isn't really better than them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way it works. it's just the way it works. I think ultimately, in 10 years' time, new school fans who are watching football, they're not gonna know the nuances. They're not gonna know how good that player was. They're just gonna see it in black and white. Oh, he scored X number of goals and won X number of trophies, so he must not be that good. And that's a narrow-minded way of thinking. But unfortunately, we have some narrow-minded football fans.
Yeah. No. I get that. But for me, I just feel like, how old is son now? 27, 28?
29.
29! 29!
29.
And how long has he got left on his contract?
You signed a new deal in the summer.
Oh, meu Deus. Ay, Jesus Cristo. Like, listen. Like, no due respect, yeah, but like, I'm not gonna lie. When I look back, yeah, at Nasri, Fabregas, when I look back at Van Persie, all these players, a lot of Arsenal, some Arsenal fans may look at it and say snake. You know what? I look back and I say, you know what? They were ambitious, and that's what makes them great players, because they have that. They want to be the best. You know, we all love players that want to be the best when they play for us, but they wanted to be the best. That's why they became the best or one of the best in their positions. Did you get it? Like, I like players that have that about them, because that means they try to bring a 10 out of 10 performance every match. Sometimes it's just sad when our club doesn't match their ambition and they move on. But I can kind of understand. Do you get what I'm saying?
I
Do you
get
feel
you.
like that with Tottenham?
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I felt like that with Harry Kane, but as I said, I gave him his blessing. Like when a player is here and when we've got multiple good players here and you can see something bubbling and they don't want to act on that, it just is it's the worst. It's the worst when you don't capitalize on that momentum. It is the worst. It's the worst. We felt that with Poch when we had just challenged for the title and he's given fucking Nkudu and Vincent Janssen to go again, and then yeah, it's just you get yeah. Like I'm not even gonna. I quit. I can't be asked to talk about it, man.
All right, cool. We got last 5 minutes and then we'll lock off. But here Diego asks, who will finish above each other, Spurs or Arsenal, come the end of the season? What do you think, Tobes?
Conte's here now, so I'm gonna say Spurs. Of course, I'm gonna say Spurs. I think we can definitely finish above you. We've done it the past 4 or 5 years, so I think we can do it again, and especially if you keep Arteta there as well. But I do think this is probably the first time in a long time where I can actually say, yeah, I think it's going to be neck. It always ends up being neck and neck, but I never believe it's going to be neck and neck at the start of the season. But this is the first year where I actually think, yeah, it could potentially be neck and neck. And I wouldn't be shocked if Arsenal did finish above Spurs. But with Antonio Conte in the helm, that's me nailing my colours to the mast. I think Spurs will finish above Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to agree with Toby, because at the end of the day, if everyone remembers when Man United got to the Europa League final against Unai Emery, they had superior players in every position. What won them the Europa League, the first trophy of Villarreal's history, was the manager. So at the end of the day, you got a better manager, a manager that's actually won something, a manager that can get points from the big six. Arsenal don't have that. We may have a better team all round, but at the end of the day, I feel like we're going to lose points because of our manager. So I completely agree. Um, let's get into this quickly. Also, Toby, what's your January transfer predictions?
For who? For
For
Spurs?
Tottenham.
Or
Yeah, for Tottenham.
I don't. I honestly don't know. I think we need to sign a midfielder. Uh, I don't think we've been linked with many centre backs. I think you're going to see a couple of outgoings. Ali is one. Bergwijn is one. But apparently, credible sources are saying we're interested in Vlahovic. So I doubt Spurs will pull that one off. I think he's put such a big target on his back with how he's performing that he's probably out of our reach now. So yeah, I don't know.
No,
I actually don't know. I think we'll sign a midfielder or center or defender. I would love an attacker on top, but I don't see who Spurs go out and sign that's actually gonna come into our team and do a madness in January unless we put big money out.
Nah, facts. I think the way they're bigging up Vlahovic, I think he's gonna be too expensive. I think too many people are gonna go in for him. He's gonna. I don't think he's worth it, but they because of the hype. You know how hype just raises the flipping the transfer fee. I think he's gonna be too expensive. But quickly here, Toby. Who does Toby prefer? Arsenal or Chelsea? He has to pick one.
None. I'm not picking any. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do a damn thing. No,
I'm gonna be like Matisse. Nah, Toby, you gotta answer.
I hate both. I actually hate both with a passion. With a passion.
You're too funny, Tobs, bro. You're too funny, bro. Like real talk, like. Nah, come on, man. You can't ask him that because if they ask me that, Chelsea or Tottenham,
I'm not picking either, bro.
Look, they're laughing at you. They're waiting for the response. The people want to come up and smash the views.
It ain't happening. It's not happening.
Get me the likes. No. With all real talk, yeah. Let's get on to it. Yeah? People are laughing, but look, listen, Toby. Thank you so much for coming on. Real talk. Bro. I know, like Big Steve. Big up to Big Steve. Big up to you. Big up to the Big Six guys. If you don't watch the Big Six show, watch it. I watch it religiously. Yeah, go watch the Big Six show on Turkish LDN's channel. You can also find him on AFTV. Most of you obviously know who AFTV is. Honestly, the Big Six show is the best one with opposing fans. They got Matisse, they got Toby, they got Grizz, they got Turkish, they got all of them. Yeah, go watch that. And Toby, where else can people find you?
Tapin Tobs on all socials, man. On YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. That's where you can find me. I'm easily accessible. Yeah.
Josh is saying he loves West Ham more, I bet.
No.
Listen, Toby, love for that. Guys, go subscribe to Toby's channel. Yeah. Please go subscribe to, was it Tapin Tobs? Nice and simple.
Tobs, yep.
Yeah. Go subscribe to him. Yeah. We need to see what the ops are doing. So people, please go see what's going on with Tottenham. Do you know what I'm saying? We ain't watched them. And how many seasons did you finish above us, actually?
Since 2016, 2017. So 18, 19, 92. 5 seasons in a row now.
You see, trust the process, yeah? Trust the process, meu cu. And if you don't know Portuguese, it's trust the process, my ass. I'm not having it at the end of the day, yeah? Now we're seeing West Ham surpass us. It's a disgrace. But listen, Toby, love for coming on. Everyone, go show love to his channel, man. Go subscribe, go like, you know what I mean? Hit the likes, share the video, all of that, yeah? Go subscribe to Toby.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Keep doing your thing, bro.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm new to all of this. I'm trying.
Keep doing your thing.
Love, guys. We're out. Bye.
Safe.